Hey, I'm Dark North, hope you all are doing well. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the updated Raiden Shogun team comps as of 2.5, as there have been some new additions to previous teams and new characters and new discoveries since the first Raiden banner. So let's begin. Starting with one of the most, if not the most popular team in Genshin Impact, the Raiden National Team. I have made a video on the national team and how it works, you can check that out, and I will be making a detailed guide on the Raiden national team in particular soon, so if you're interested, be sure to sub to the channel so you don't miss it. But I'll briefly go over this team. It consists of Raiden plus the national core, which is Xiangling, Bennett, and Xingqiu. Xiangling and Xingqiu are the two sub DPS characters, and using them together allows Xiangling to vaporize her Pyronado consistently. Bennett gives an attack buff to the team, which can be snapshotted by Xiangling's Pyronado and also helps generate energy for her and provides healing. Raiden here with her elemental skill active constantly procs electro damage when any teammate damages an enemy, allowing constant overload and electro charge on top of vaporize. It also buffs the elemental burst damage of teammates based on their energy cost, and both Xingqiu and Xiangling having high burst costs can benefit greatly from this. And then her burst does a lot of damage and also allows you to proc electro charge overload and vaporize at the same time, as it can proc Xingqiu burst swords, while also regenerating energy for the entire team, making this in my opinion the easiest variant of the national team both to play and build, while also being extremely effective at clearing content, which is why in my opinion this team is so popular. So now let's talk about the next team, which is the Raiden Electro team. This consists of Raiden plus another 1 or 2 Electro characters plus supports. In this footage we have the Raiden Yae Miko team, where Raiden helps increase burst damage of Yae Miko with her skill and also generates energy for her. Yae Miko in turn also helps Raiden get more stacks because of her high cost burst, and also does constant off-field damage with her turrets. This team is great, but you can replace Yae Miko with another Electro character or add another Electro character to this team. Fischl works great, further increasing energy of the entire team and doing a lot of off-field damage. You would literally not have to worry about energy if you have both Fischl and Raiden on the same team. Lisa also works great with Raiden, as her burst shreds defense, which is very rare, and unlike elemental resistance, defense does not have diminishing returns when it goes below 0. Her high burst cost is also mitigated by Raiden generating energy for her. Kujasara also works great, as she has 2 ways to buff attack at the same time with her skill and burst, allowing her to buff 2 characters sequentially in one rotation. She is more valuable if you have her at C6 in an Electro team because of the Electro crit damage bonus that she gives. Beidou unfortunately doesn't work with Raiden, as her burst does not proc with Raiden burst hits. While you can still use her if you want to, you will have to not use Raiden and Beidou burst at the same time, which makes the rotations awkward and extends it. Apart from these, you can use Animo characters for Viridescent Shred and a Zhongli if you want the shields and Red Shred and Petrification. Moving on to the Raiden Hypercarry team. You've probably seen this team a lot both on my channel and other channels. The entire team is focused around buffing Raiden's damage as much as possible so she can one-shot or deal massive amounts of damage during her burst to obliterate everything. This team includes Raiden plus a C6 Kujasara plus a Bennett plus a Anemo character or a Zhongli. For the Anemo slot, the best option is Kazuha followed by Sucrose at C6. Some teams also include Mona. The requirements to make Raiden Hypercarry practical in Abyss and other difficult stages are 3. You don't need all the requirements, but should at least have one of them. 1. You need 4 emblem with good substats. Good is subjective, but in my opinion having at least 50 crit rate and 150 crit damage with 250 ER is necessary. You are free to disagree with this, as this is just my opinion. 2. Having C2 Raiden will let your burst ignore 60% of enemy defense, which is a massive damage boost. 3. You have a C6 Kujasara who gives you 60% electro crit damage on top of her attack buff. If you have one of these, at least you can try to build a Raiden Hypercarry team. Having 2 or more will definitely make this viable. I did not include Engulfing Lightning, as I don't think it is necessary, as I have hit 600,000 in an event with an R5 catch and can easily hit 270,000 to 300,000 in the Spiral Abyss with the Hypercarry team using a catch Raiden. Of course, if you have Engulfing Lightning, it would increase your damage even further, but I don't think you necessarily need it, as the R5 catch is such a great weapon and is also free. Next team is the Raiden Eula team. This typically consists of Eula, Raiden plus another Cryo plus a Flex. Raiden's skill has a 100% uptime, which allows Eula to always have superconduct on the enemy, which reduces enemy physical resistance. It also buffs her elemental burst damage a lot because of her high burst cost. And after you use Eula burst, you can switch to Raiden and use her burst and do damage while also regenerating energy for Eula burst for the next rotation. The second cryo enables cryo resonance for more crit rate and also as a battery. Best option here is Diona, who gives a shield, healing, and is a great battery at the same time. Having both Diona and Raiden allows Eula to consistently get her burst back every rotation without any issues, even with low ER. If you use another cryo in the team like Rosaria, who gives crit rate and at C6 lowest physical and cryo res, or Kaya, you can probably turn your brain off and play this team and not have to worry about energy at all. The other slot can be either Animo for crowd control and shredding Electro for Raiden, Zhongli for all res shred and a shield and petrification, C6 Kudosara for electro resonance and to buff Raiden's burst damage in the team, and Lisa for defense shred. And you can always use good old Bennett for a healing and attack buff. Now let's move on to the last team, which is the Raiden Taser team or Electrocharge team. This consists of Raiden plus a off-field Hydro character. This can be Xingqiu, who is a GOAT and also does a lot of off-field Hydro damage and can consistently proc Electrocharge. Kokomi also is great as her jellyfish can apply Hydro consistently and proc Electrocharge for the team while also giving you massive healing, so you don't have to worry about dying at all with her in the team. The other Hydro options left are Mona and Barbara. Mona off-field Hydro application is mediocre at best. It works fine for freeze teams, but not for Taser teams where you need more consistent and constant long-term Hydro application off-field to consistently proc Electrocharge. She still gives a great damage amp on burst, so you can still use her for that alongside another Hydro for Electrocharge. Barbara works. She does no off-field damage except with the clamp set. Her Hydro application is poor at best off-field, but she works if you really do not have any other options. You can also add another Electro sub DPS like Fischl or Ye Miko for more damage and Electrocharge procs. They both work great in this Taser team. The other characters can be Animo for Viridescent Shred and Crowd Control, especially a Sucrose as her EM buff does actually get used in a Taser team. And a Zhongli, wow, definitely didn't see that coming. And you can also use good old Benny Boy for an attack buff and healing, or a Kudosara for an attack buff and electro crit damage at C6. And that's it. Those were the updated Raiden Shogun team comps. If you found this helpful, consider leaving a like. If you want to see more stuff like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or corrections, leave them down below in the comments. I am Dark North. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.